All right, everyone, the anti-BDS bill, that is the boycott, divestment, and sanction sort of situation, it's aimed at Israel by usually Palestinian groups. That bill has made it to the next stage in the Senate. It was sort of locked down, and I think they removed a couple of provisions, held another vote, and now it goes to its full vote. Now, I believe after it goes to the Senate, I think this one originated, I think, with the Senate. So that means it also has to go back to the House and then go back through. Now, Trump, unfortunately, has signaled that he appears to be in favor of this. I don't like it. I oppose the anti-BDS bill because it's not capitalistic, and it certainly, the right to protest, the right to enjoin a de facto business embargo has never been challenged as far as I know with regards to any other country. As far as I know, there's never been another period in our history where Congress has attempted to prevent U.S. firms from engaging in proper commerce, getting a government grant or contract or something like that simply because they are part of such a movement. As far as I know, it's never happened. Like, there were a lot of businesses that purged themselves of French products after France refused to join this Bush's so-called coalition of the willing in Iraq, which, by the way, they made the right decision, I think. History remembers them more fondly for having not joined up. We invade Iraq. France says, hell no, we won't go. And people were smashing bottles of French wine out in the streets. You know, a lot of people, like, the freedom fries was a big thing after. They're not French fries anymore. They're freedom fries because we got to bomb children to stay free. We got to fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. The Democrats believe that now in Syria, which is why I oppose the occupation there as well. Looking at this situation from a sane perspective is very funny. Because of my opposition to this. And we should try to stop it. Like, yes, people should be, petitioning. They should contact their representatives and senators. They should probably try to pressure Trump not to sign it, even though that might be a loss. Because, like, if it gets to his desk, he'll sign. Because if he doesn't sign, it's like, hey, I want Israeli businesses to suffer. Yes, a Republican is definitely likely to do that. No, the opposition, the main opposition in the Senate came from people like Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. I actually have to give credit to a bunch of fucking progressives that normally 99% of the time are totally whacked out and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The thing is, this issue never should have been raised in the first place. The issue should have been ignored. How many businesses are actually participating in the BDS movement? Not very many. That's because here in the United States, Israel has a much stronger lobbying arm than Palestine. Palestine has basically nothing. Palestine has some shit posters online and like Al Jazeera and shit, and that's basically it. As far as Israel goes, though, it's kind of obvious. Generally speaking, presidents, senators, all of them, they visit the Wailing Wall. They talk about, we're strong allies, greatest ally, never forget, we will defend you forever, and stuff like that. And part of it's religious. Part of it is that Congress is filled with Christians and Jews are both, that's basically the bulk of Congress. There are some secular individuals, there's a couple people who are Islamic, and I think, which is it Tulsi Gabbard that practices Hinduism? I think. So mainly, it's really funny that the people spearheading the opposition to this are a couple of fundamentalist Islamists, I would say, based on Tlaib's comments, especially, I would say, hyper-religious zealots, and a bunch of hyper-liberals, a bunch of socialists, basically. That's who we've got to rely upon to stop basically what amounts to an anti-business bill. This essentially is an anti-capitalistic bill. Look, the government shouldn't take that into consideration when giving a grant. See, the problem is, what Congress is worried about, it makes it look like the U.S. government is then backing BDS. But it's like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's just a fucking business function. Who cares if that business has said, okay, well, yeah, the plight of occupied Palestine, so we don't sell Israeli products. It's their business. And by the way, the biggest problem that I have with this isn't with the stated goal. The stated goal, a la like Little Marco and the people that made this bill and are pushing it in the first place, the stated goal is to prevent that, is to prevent businesses that are actively part of a boycott giving support, materially supporting BDS. The problem is, if you look at the wording, it could go a lot further than that. Government grants and contracts could be withheld from a business simply because the business owner happens to hold pro-Palestinian opinions. Well, I think that that's a fairly clear breach of the First Amendment, but, that's just me. I look at the situation. It's laughable, the people that are for and against it, because, I'm saying Trump is for it, and most of the Republicans, in fact, pretty much all of them, and a lot of the Democrats, like the Schumerites, the neoliberal Democrats, they're all for it. Meanwhile, again, socialists and some religious fanatics are the ones standing against it. Yeah, no, it's a very strange situation. Because normally, I mean, progressivism is usually regressive, but the idea that you're going to crack down on businesses being ideologically part of a boycott simply because you happen to be an ally of that country, you didn't say anything when people did that to France. I didn't see any outrage when that happened. France has a way larger economy, does a way more trade with us than Israel does. Also, more powerful military, more of a strategic partner. Nobody complained. Everyone was on board with it because they were so mad after 9/11 and stuff. They just wanted blood, and so the government hauls off, invades a separate nation, has nothing to do with it. France says, "I don't think this is a good idea." Everyone here flips their lid. I can remember it. I can remember on TV for days and days they were showing footage of people smashing the wine and screaming crowds and oh, French, wave the white flag. It's the national flag of France and stuff like that. Where's the outrage here? I would think that there'd be some degree of outrage over the situation where the government wants to prevent businesses that are simply part of an ideological bloc from even doing business with the government. And it's an excuse. When the government says, well, it's so that it doesn't look like we're supporting BDS because we stand with our greatest ally. Okay, that's a cop-out. It's still an anti-business bill. That's fundamentally what it is. You're saying that, let's say there are two businesses within one field. The government needs cogs for artillery pieces for the military or something. Another joke. And there are two businesses that can supply this specific, really important cog that makes the whole machine work. One of them has enjoined BDS, the other hasn't. The government has to choose. It's a no-bid contract now. That business is going to load up, aren't they? The problem is that in some of these business situations, if you're looking for a large business to supply a lot of bulk for some government reason, there aren't going to be that many businesses anyway that are competing. Well, I think that this could be a little bit of a problem now, couldn't it? I think that people should have the right to make informed business decisions. They should be able to choose what products they're selling and where those products are from. How would it be different in saying, okay, I don't think I want North Korean products because I don't want to support human, slave labor. I don't sell Chinese products because it was made by a bunch of 10-year-olds in a sweatshop working 14 hours a day. By the way, Chinese propaganda now being shown in movie theaters in Australia, supposedly. Haven't checked it out fully, but I can believe it. Yeah, let's worry about the Russians some more with, 1/10 of the economy. That's about all. Peace out.